So as I start this recording, to preface this, I did do a thing during the stream that you might have noticed was different, but if you didn't watch the stream, that's what this video is for. But I did make a change at the end of a playthrough. It was a pretty normal playthrough. It was just an ending B playthrough. However, again, if you watched it, you knew. Otherwise, you're watching this video now, and whatever this video will be called will be for future Jordan to decide. But otherwise, yeah, so I did make a change, basically working on my own mods, but this is a test for mods that I may want to do in Funker 2. And so yeah, I'll let it explain itself. Even though you won't see it until near the end here, but I might as well just do this part. Also, spoilers if you have not seen the ending of Termina, otherwise, well, yeah, this is spoilers. So, I should probably put that somewhere in the video when I do this. So, yeah, but without further ado, let's get into it. So, nothing much. I did make some changes since the stream, so you might notice that certain things happen a lot sooner than you expect. But for the most part, everything remains mostly the same. What do I have on, by the way? And I'm bleeding, by the way. Actually, I don't have protection, do I? So I can't get my arms cut off. But I mean, as long as I rush through this, I'm relatively fine. But this could end very, very badly for me. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't do a thing. Well, it's too late now. So here we are. And we'll do our best. And if we end up dying, so be it. I think I have to rush this now. Perkel has 4,000 HP. Oh, why? This is why I should be guarding. I don't know why I did this to myself. Well, hello. And yeah, we'll continue working on Perkel. But again, when I get there, I'll get there. Otherwise, just going into, I guess, more my thoughts. The timestamps will be in the video below. But I will be focusing on, you know, miscellaneous things for Termina here and there. I don't know when this video is coming out, but if it comes out in a timely manner, just know that's basically what I'm doing, among other things that I'm planning. So, yeah, it might be a slow crawl, just as would be usual for, you know, working on things, but for the most part, yeah, I'll be working on things on the side, and if you don't see it in video form, I'll try my best. Otherwise, I might do just menial things here and there. I did want to do a basically Massa mode attempts every day. I don't know what that exactly means. I do have a plan of action so that you're not, you know, stuck in a video or you can't guess the ending based on what you see in video. But, I mean, at the same time, also we're gonna get, I'm pretty sure Rur can do arm cut. Or it can cut arms off. So let's hope that doesn't happen. If it does happen, then we just have to eat it in the face, because we need to pep pill immediately, and Rur has about 6,500 HP. So, or effective to defeat the encounter, which, funny enough, you don't actually defeat it more than the battle just abruptly stops. If you know what I mean by that, then you know. So I think this one cuts arms off. Yeah, so eventually I may reach a point in which I have no arms, but I mean, that's just the price I pay for doing what I do here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. But hey. So yeah, in Termina, usually I keep both arms, but that's what magic is for. Magic is for when you get both arms cut off and you at least have a way of fighting back. It's not the cleanest or the most, you know, pleasing thing to look at, but I mean, when you get both arms cut off, you gotta deal with it. Or load the game, realistically, if you're playing the game by yourself in a non-commercial way privately. So, also the fact that we have the Battlestone allows us to continue fighting. So, yeah, we get really close, he might still cut an arm off. So, I mean, if he does, so be it. That makes this next encounter quite interesting. But at the same time, when I was basically balancing and making the fight as fun as possible, this doesn't cut arms off, thankfully. But when I was testing out things for what you're going to see in a moment if I defeat Rur, I was also keeping in mind that certain encounters you can't even really defeat reliably unless you're using certain builds. Like Perkel, you have to just stop using magic entirely after a certain point. But it's not that you can't use magic at all, it's just after a certain point. It's not a good idea to. I should try to rush this in case I get a crit, but I should really rush this. I'm gonna rush this. If I rush this and die, so be it. But yeah, I don't defeat him. So we're just taking all this damage. If he gets my other arm off, though, then well, you'll be seeing what happens. So, he moon scorches us instead, but I still probably would have wanted to guard against that. He should be dying sometime soon. Yeah, I was about to say. We did lose an arm, but if nothing else, well, if you're going in with physical attacks only, then yeah, it's quite an RNG you have to flip because if you get both arms cut off, all you have is magic. But as I leave a second or two to let the timestamps rock, which I should be noting, but I mean, when I render the video, it'll be what it is. That's when I will do it. But otherwise, this is the divergence I called it in the stream, chapter-wise. But I can also say something else as well. A doppelganger, huh? Well, I'm no doppelganger, but it sure seems that way, doesn't it? Maybe you're the doppelganger. I'm the spy. I'm the real Karin. Did you ever think about that? Well, again, to note what I said, I'll basically be saying some of the same things, but for the most part, we have a bit of a problem. Don't know who you are, but I'm sure you realize that if you're here, I'm here. Yeah, so essentially this is big fan fiction vibes, so because this is not part of the base game. If you try to look for this in the game, you won't find it, because I did it myself, and I'm using it on my own private copy. We can get into the topic of, mods and things and whatnot, but for the most part, I mean, it's up to the developer's control, and what makes things fun. Also, I could never figure out how to do fade out successfully. That's why I kind of had to make do with what I had. I do have to guard, though, because this hurts otherwise. So this boss, to talk about it, does a lot of damage if you're not prepared. With the bell in... Oh, I forgot to pet pill. I think I'm dead here. I might be dead here. I need to survive one turn. Maybe. I don't even know if that's guaranteed. But, yeah, we're going to take a bunch of damage here. So this all does... Yeah, I was figuring out how to balance well, but I didn't really... I ended up never really figuring it out. So for this encounter, you're pretty much taking about 60 damage a turn. I might just end up dying here again. If the bell... Yeah, the bell end is aiming, so we're fine for now. But I do need to heal again, because otherwise I will die. And I don't think actually guarding does anything for me, so I'm just going to go all out. Because we are playing on a timer, which I have decreased. In the stream, I kind of had to elongate it based on what I was guessing for. You saw... Well... Again, not really spoilers if I'm... Because the stream was about the stream, but this, basically, you do want to be guarding at some point, if for some reason I ever release this to the public. Or if someone wants to play with the mod, I mean, I don't know where I'd put it, but, yeah, I'd figure it out. But, if you want to play it yourself, basically, you're playing on a timer. This doesn't happen for everyone, by the way. This only happens for Karin/journalist. So, yeah, what you see is what you get. But I did make this, it shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world. It shouldn't rely on one specific build. You can use magic as well, I'm pretty sure. But I think, funny enough, this... No. Actually, I don't remember the weakness. Anywho. So I could not take off both legs, but I think I still want to. I made it so that when you take off both legs, the Valkyrie is pretty much guaranteed to do an attack. Probably more, but... just to be safe, we're going to start guarding. Yeah, we crit there, but... And the torso itself has, I think, 6,000 damage. It used to have more, and then I was actually playing around and figured out that when an enemy has more than 9,999 HP, which for some reason I've forgotten in my days as a developer for this engine, that turns out, yeah, they don't... the counter doesn't die. But again, for Termina specifically, usually what's happening is that everything takes damage when you've quote-unquote defeated the enemy according to the design of the game. But in my haste, I forgot, as I need to guard this, otherwise I get a helm splitter and my head gets taken off. So yeah. But yeah, just to my... And then I made the Valkyrie get enraged after basically a soft enrage. It's not really an enrage either because you're not guaranteed to die. I didn't want to add anything more. I wanted to kind of play with the base what's given and basically change as make as less changes as possible, because otherwise if I were to say release a mod, I don't want to be as intrusive, even though when the developer decides to if and when the developer decides to make their next update date, as I thankfully dodged that, that's right, I don't have limb protection either, so that actually getting my arm cut off would hurt. But when the developer comes out with the next update, it'll probably intrude on things anyway. But that's why, again, if nothing else, I want my mod to be as light as possible so that I don't have to do as much work. Keeping in mind, again, for anyone, whether you're making mods or not, when you're making mods, if you make a lot of them, that means if a game were to ever update, you would need to go back and make sure all of those mods are in line. Even if you think they're not as intrusive, you still want to kind of touch them and make sure they're, you know, up to standard. So, but yeah, we do have to rush this because that's the asterisk of this encounter. The first one does a helm splitter, but the second ones and thereafter do hack, which, if you're familiar with Funger, usually gets your arm cut off. I think it's not the highest chance, but hey. But yeah, without further ado, these are the kinds of things I was working on in Termina. Again, if I do write something and or release a mod and it conflicts with the lore in some way, I mean, essentially it is fan fiction. So yeah, that's that. I'll let the credits play out because there is one more change I did, but it's really just, you know, a paragraph of text. But for the most part, I mean, if you have any suggestions, if you want to see something, I might try. I know some people were kind of joking around and trolling me here and there about what to put in game, but at the same time, I know they're semi-serious, or, you know, I shouldn't treat it that way, treat it this way, but, you know, I treat it as an insult when you're like, haha, do this. I treat it more like, well, in my mind, just so that for self-improvement, that I go, oh, you're challenging me to do it, and you're daring me that I can't do it. Which, for the most part, you would be right, because, you know, there's so many things. That was the last paragraph, I didn't go through it, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's the thing I did for the stream. If you want to see the whole stream, it should be available as a VOD. It is restricted, however. That one, even though, you know, I haven't... Termina, even a lot of people, everyone who did Termina pretty much did not restrict their videos anyway, so if something happens to me, I mean, I should just play it safe, but for the most part, I mean, I'm gonna leave it as is. So, that was this video. Again, if you have anything to say, you know what to do. If you want to support me, subscribing would help out the most. Otherwise, I guess I'll see you when I see you, and I'd like to thank you for watching. So, see you later.